Hello and welcome everybody to our webinar today on the security, process and cost aspects of managing documents within the enterprise. My name is Ian Khan and I'm the Director of Innovation at SOLGENIA. Today's webinar is going to be concise, and I really wanted to talk about a few points, pain points that our customers have pointed out, and it's a common industry problem. And I'll try and make it as informative as much as I can. For those of you who are still joining us, we're just getting started, and let me just start off with a brief intro. If some of you have noticed, we are now SOLGENIA Akela, and the name change from SOLGENIA to SOLGENIA Akela has come as part of merging of a couple of business units and streamlining our offers to be comparable and applicable on a global level. There's no change on our products and solutions. We're stronger, we're bigger, and SOLGENIA Akela is our new brand name. You still continue to do business with our organization. Nothing else has changed. The best way to pronounce it is SOLGENIA Akela, and so SOLGENIA Akela is the right way to pronounce the company name. For those of you who have joined us by computer, and I'm hoping you can see the image on the screen right now. If you haven't joined us by the computer, please go ahead and log on. There's a lot of interactive slides that are built in that you'll find useful. And this here is a picture of a typical and a traditional business user, let's say prior to the technology, the proliferation of technology in this world. Documents were rampant. A lot of documentation was maintained and managed. And in fact, if you look at some of the companies, departments, organizations, this actually is happening right now as well, where managing paper is a nightmare, and managing processes, managing enterprise content, managing enterprise digital assets is a huge problem when it comes to really squeezing the value out of it and making your organization efficient and productive. Far from this picture from the past, we have a picture of the present, where the modern workforce is battling a different type of content chaos, in addition to what we saw in the previous slide. Today, the workforce is plagued by free document management solutions such as Google Drive, Box.net, Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, Apple iCloud, Amazon Cloud, and there's myriad other solutions and platforms and online, let's say, document storage facilities available, where you can simply upload a document or a set of documents or your pictures or Excel sheets and share them with your colleagues, your peers, your customers, and suppliers and vendors and so on. But it's more easier than done, because now your organization has kind of opened up its doors to all kinds of privacy issues and all kinds of legislative issues where you can be held liable for distributing information in a way where you're tampering with proprietary information. You could be violating somebody's intellectual property rights and so on and so forth. So the workforce and the workplace has become very complex, purely because of free document management systems, or as I call them, free document sharing applications that are available. And in this slide, dealing with content chaos, in my opinion, is a two-pronged problem. One side of that is driven by internal drivers, for example, and these are totally driven by the need that businesses have, the need that business users have to share their documents. And by all means, we're acknowledging the fact that there is a huge need for organizations and business users to manage the flow of documents, to manage enterprise digital assets in a much, much efficient way. Some of the examples or some of the needs that are internal drivers for this are: how did they get that file? That version of this document is wrong. I'd like to have an email copy of this code again. or let me put it in Dropbox so that I can share it with you, or even the fact where is that document that we're trying to look for. Is it on the network share? Is it in Dropbox? Is it on Google Drive? Is it on Microsoft SkyDrive? Or more than anything else, you end up running out of storage space online. When you upload so much stuff into it, you just run out of your storage space. And these are all internal drivers where end users are trying to do their job. They're trying to do what they do best, but they don't have the resources available. They don't have the technology available that would help them be efficient at the workplace. Externally, of course, all these free document sharing applications, which are excellent in my opinion, and they're very, very good products when it comes to their feature set, their usage, their convenience. And I am a user of these, a few of these applications, but on a personal scale. And what I upload on these is purely my personal choice and not an enterprise choice that my company or my organization makes. So Google Drive, again, Google Drive, BoxNet, Dropbox, SkyDrive, iCloud, they're all really, really great platforms, and it's not their fault that business users, end users, are using them in the wrong context. So we've got to be careful about what the problem is. And the problem essentially is driven by the business need that the end users have. To understand business productivity, really, productivity is units of output divided by the units of input. How much output are you getting from the input that you're putting in? Here are some stats as an example to understand business productivity in today's world. 50% of knowledge workers today are spending time on creating and preparing documents in one form or the other. More than 75% of the workforce in large organizations do not have PDF editors available to them. They can only view PDFs, not edit them and modify them. And a lot of documents today are in a PDF format. Document challenges are robbing organizations of 21.3% of their overall staff productivity. That's a huge chunk of their time. Imagine having 21.3% extra revenue during the year. If you're a company that's doing a few $1 million, that'll easily add a few more to your revenue as an example. 92% of professionals collaborate on and review documents via email. We all are heavily hooked on email, whether it's on our smart devices, our tablets, or our computers. We absolutely use email for business purposes. And the average worker today shares 6 documents as email attachments each day. Time wasted on document challenges are costing organizations almost $20,000 per worker per year. That's $20,000 per worker per year. Purely wasted just because your average worker cannot access or manage documents. And last but not least, 45% of companies report it takes over a week to get a contract signed just because there's inefficiency in the process of managing documents. So within the enterprise today, there's 3 main areas of challenges that we see kind of rampant. The first one being corporate content. The corporate content itself is expected to rise over 50 times by 2020. And this is all the files, documents, emails, PDFs, PowerPoints, Excel sheets, Visio drawings, and everything else that we are creating within the workplace. Another factor is the proliferation of mobile and social communication and the consumerization of technology. The usage of cloud within the enterprise is increasing, and as a result of that is increasing the mobility aspect of it and the social and content sharing aspect of it. And within 61% of organizations, more than half the content sits in non-ECM systems such as file shares, ERP, and legacy applications. There's different stats available from different organizations, different industry surveys. So if you see information that's not 100% correlates with each other, it's just the way they've done the surveys. But if you look at 61%, that's a majority of businesses today who have content sitting in places where it shouldn't be. So again, in the loss of productivity and business efficiency, the challenges are employees are spending a lot of time on just trying to find documents or sharing documents or searching for documents. 20 to 40% of time searching for documents manually. And there's definitely easier solutions and systems available which can help you find your required needs, or they can satisfy your required documentation needs. 18 minutes is the average time that workers are spending to find a document. So professionals are spending 50% of their time searching for information, and it takes 18 minutes on average to locate each document. That's a lot of time. And 25% of organizations estimate that users are accessing unauthorized file sync and share sites. And again, these are great consumer applications to share documents and files, but not in the enterprise. And that is the problem. That is the main source of problem within the enterprise, is this bleed because of consumer-grade file sharing sites and file sharing applications. And obviously, contrary to that, the opposite side of the coin is how can your organization benefit from a true enterprise content management or a secure document management or an enterprise document management solution or a platform. Definitely, the ability to search for documentation ranks pretty high, and efficiency search and retrieval could improve productivity of staff by 30% on average, based on industry statistics. Improved efficiency resulting from access to information could be between 20 to 25%, and that all these numbers they all add up. Plus, there's other benefits such as customer service levels are increasing, customer-facing staff has more access to data, information, and so on. And as I know you all are from different verticals, different industries, and you can think for a minute, how would this help your industry address its challenges, or how would it help your company address its challenges and sources of inefficiency? The investment in enterprise document management solutions sees a payback within 18 months. So within 18 months, you could have 57%, you could have a payback within 18 months, and 57% of survey respondents said yes to this. So that's not a very long time if you look at the overall life cycle of businesses, and it's a 1.5-year investment. And more than 400% return on investment in just 5 years, and that's a staggering amount. You've done more than just recover the investment that you had. In fact, you're doing above and beyond that. So respondents showed more than 400% ROI in 5 years because of what they invested in an enterprise document management solution. So I wrote a blog post just yesterday which talked about what is common between a bootlegging operation, a music piracy operation, and an enterprise that loves free document sharing applications. And these are three different things. And you might think, what is common between smuggling alcohol, making fake CDs and downloading torrents, and a typical average workforce user who uses file sync and share applications that are not authorized by IT? First of all, they all rely on an easy way out to get to the final destination. So everybody wants a quick way to reach their goal. They all are using a shortcut to get to their means, not recognizing that they are in fact destroying something. The alcohol smugglers obviously are destroying a lot of community, society, life, and we're talking about excessive illegal work here. And so the privacy, the unauthorized downloading, information piracy is taking away the livelihood of artists, as an example, or the music industry, or the video industry, and so on. And similarly, they are risking everything they have and becoming a target for someone to catch them. They're all putting themselves into significant amount of risk. Within the enterprise, you are at risk from your customers, from your stakeholders, to be sued because their information was leaked and they entrusted you to protect this information, and you kind of, if you fail to protect it, then you are liable for legal action by your customers. And this is just an example, just to show you, how things may be similar in a weird way, and how sometimes we unknowingly do things which affect a lot of other people. So risk is one of the bigger things that we need to look at within the enterprise. And consumer grade applications are best if used for consumer applications, not the enterprise. For me, I'm a heavy user of one of these platforms or a couple of them, and I don't mind using them because they offer me convenience. I can share documents with my son. I can use share pictures with my friends, and so on and so forth. So we need to differentiate between the fact that, is this a consumer application or is this an enterprise application? So free document sharing platforms does not equal enterprise document management. Let's just make that clear. Okay, so free document sharing platforms are not equal to enterprise document management. And among the stats that we saw earlier, you'll be maybe intrigued to know that the number one platform that enterprises are reporting their employees are using, one of the free applications is Dropbox. So Dropbox ranks number one. Number two is Google Drive and Apple iCloud. So they both stood at the same level. And number three was Microsoft SkyDrive. So these are the top three consumer-grade document sharing applications that over 42% of employees are using within the enterprise, thus exposing their organizations to a significant amount of risk. So the top three challenges with using consumer-grade document sharing applications, again, is your data is insecure, you do not have any control, and your organization, again, is at significant amount of risk. So when IT within your industries or within your companies does not want you to download any of these applications, they're actually doing us a favor. They're doing us a favor by protecting us and securing our organization from the tremendous amount of insecurity that it can bring. It goes without saying that you're potentially running an unproductive, risky, and inefficient operation which is liable to be sued by your customers anytime. And I have big doubts that this is the business that you want to be in. I don't think any of us want to run an unproductive, risky, inefficient operation that can be sued by customers anytime. And this problem is very, very serious. I'm not trying to make it into a big deal, but it is a serious problem. And I doubt that any of us and our customers and our vendors want to be in the business of being inefficient or being unproductive. I think we all want to address this monster of a problem, but we sometimes don't know what to do about it. SOLGENIA, Kayla, specializes in business productivity over the cloud. I'm just going to provide you with a small preview of one of our solutions. If you haven't heard about it, it's called Freedoc. Freedoc is a true enterprise secure document management solution that has everything that you would want and need within an enterprise. You can securely manage your documents, your digital assets. You can use an enterprise-grade file sync and share application. You can collaborate with your team. You can enable document imaging and OCR features. You can have documents and assets available on mobile. Or if your business needs it, you can also have the added features of a business process management. Some of the other features within Freedoc are you can check in and check out documents. You can have file versioning as an example of the same file. You have features such as version rollback or accessing the documents from any device. And for those of you who really use, let's say the compliance aspect of document management, or you're within the compliance department or regulation department of your organization, you know how important these features can be within the enterprise. File versioning is a very important aspect, and being able to maintain that is key within the enterprise, and so is check-in and check-out of documents. Just giving you a quick roll down of the features. Freedoc is also mobile, so you could use it from your tablet, your Surface, your laptop, your any devices, Android, Apple, and they're all secure, as it is, as I'll show you in the next few slides, in terms of security. So it's mobile. Mobility is a natural feature. Freedoc also has a comprehensive BPM engine, where you can design advanced workflows, and it's all web-based. So if you're looking for a workflow manager, workflow designer that's integrated with your document management solution, then this is something you should be exploring. And Freedoc is also a very collaborative platform where you can have specific workplaces, or what we call as a social workspace, where you can invite specific internal or external members to share documents, to share content, and essentially access those documents anywhere. So sharing knowledge and empowering workers to make effective decisions and protecting your most valuable corporate assets through collaboration is a feature that's inbuilt. Here's an example of one of our customer cases. It's a customer in the healthcare industry, and their need of the hour was the ability to share documents digitally with a few hundred of their locations that were spread out geographically. And using just one feature of the solution, which was the automated distribution of the documentation, they saved over about $125,000 in yearly expenses, and that was a staggering amount of money that they were spending on something that could have been solved a long time ago with the right solution. There's also the aspect of being paperless, so they saved a lot of printing costs, a lot of labor costs that went into producing those documents. So this is just one example of how a true enterprise document management system can help your business solve not just the document sharing problem, but also manage effective workflows or create automation around your digital assets. Here's some cost comparison with some of the main industry players. We know there's EMC, OpenText, SharePoint, Alfresco. These are all great providers of solutions within this space, and some of their pricing is up there on the screen, and it's based on a 1,000 user configuration for 1 year, and you can see the costs associated with each of them right there. This information comes from an industry white paper. I'm happy to provide you with a link to that if needed. And Freedoc really has a very aggressive entry point, and we can, with 1,000 users, we can start at as low as $17,000 per year. Of course, depends on your final configuration and so on and so forth. But essentially, we are priced very aggressive. Our solution is very robust, offers above and beyond functions and features that anybody would offer. Freedoc also is available on multiple deployment formats. It is available on a real-time consumption model on the cloud. You can also have a public cloud. You can also have a private cloud format, or you can also have an on-prem deployment, or you could have even a hybrid type of a deployment. So in terms of Freedoc's availability, it's a very flexible platform that can be customized and whose deployments can be customized to suit your needs. If you're in an industry where you absolutely need to have a lockdown on the information that you're storing on your own servers, on your own data center, well then we can have a private cloud format or a deployment model to suit you. So there's a lot of flexibility. It's a matter of what suits your needs. Last but not least, just a few facts about us. If you wanted a refresher, again, we are SOLGENIA Akela, transitioning from SOLGENIA to being SOLGENIA Akela. We've been around since 1994, so over the last a couple of decades, we've served thousands and thousands of customers with our innovative solutions. We serve about 3,500 plus enterprise organizations worldwide, and we are about a couple of hundred people in a few different offices around the world, and we have our own data center operating in Italy. And recently, we've also partnered up with one of the leading data center providers in North America. If you haven't seen the press release, I'm happy to forward it to you. It's also on our website. We've partnered up with Equinix, who are one of the leading data center providers globally, and we'd be happy to help our customers have their deployments there, or based on your business needs. We'll be happy to serve your needs through Equinix and through this partnership. You can also, I'll also give you an opportunity to do some Q&A if you need to submit some questions. So on the left side of the screen, you will see there's a space for typing in some questions. If you have questions, please type them in, and I'll be happy to take those questions for you and answer those questions. So please, on the left side of the screen, by all means, please put in some questions, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. You can also get in touch with me over email or on the phone, and I'd be happy to have a word with you. So I'm just waiting for some questions to come in. In the meanwhile, our comprehensive customer case studies are available online. If you go to our website, SOLGENIA.com, there's a bunch of case studies available for Freedoc, for all our solutions, and you can see the pure capabilities that we offer. So I have a couple of questions. Is the BPM separately available? Yes, BPM is a model that is available separately as well, but then you might fall into the challenge of what does your BPM connect to. To answer the question in short, yes, BPM is available as a separate module. We will have to have a conversation and essentially chalk out what your exact needs are. Does Freedoc have encryption feature? Yes, Freedoc does have an encryption feature as well. If you're looking at document level encryption, yes, we can enable that. If you're looking for server level encryption, yes, we can enable that. Encryption itself is pretty complex, and we'd have to kind of know what the application is. As an example, if your application is within the military where everything needs to be encrypted, yes, we have encryption technologies, third-party encryption technologies that we incorporate within the solution. We do not develop the encryption features, but we use other organizations and their technologies, whose technologies are much sought after to do that. As an example, we use audio encryption technology for our audio side of one of our solutions from Babytel, and there they have a proprietary patented audio encryption technology and so on. So yes, encryption is available. Demos are available anytime. In fact, we have an online showcase of the solution. You can have a self demo as well, but I'm happy if you can drop me a line. I'd be happy to arrange something with myself, and we can jump on a call and do a live demo. What are some of the continuous integration technologies you're using to solve challenges? I'm not sure, but it's a very broad question. I'm trying to understand what the context of this is. Continuous integration technologies. So some of the technologies that we're working with on a cloud level anyways, to integrate our solution with would be, let's say, Microsoft Azure. It could be Zen. You're looking at OpenStack, and these are all technologies that we're working with on a continuous everyday level to kind of find out what is the next best thing we should be doing. How is Freedoc solution being offered? Do you support hybrid cloud model? Freedoc, again, is available in multiple formats. It's available as a public cloud offering. It's also available as a private cloud offering. It can be on a hosted cloud. We can host it for you. If you have a data center, you can host it there. Or you can even have an on-prem install, or you can have a hybrid of it where you have it installed on-prem and it syncs with a cloud copy as well. And last but not least, how much is the BPM? The BPM has a bit of a complex pricing model, and I'd be happy to, again, gauge your needs and accordingly provide a price if that is the need. At this moment in time, thank you so much for joining me, folks. I don't want to take too much of your time. I hope it's been helpful, and I'll forward a copy of my PowerPoint to everybody who was on the webinar. Thank you again for such a wonderful, being such a wonderful audience. Have a wonderful day ahead, and we'll talk soon. Thank you so much.